Hello, it's Nintendo Players UK Podcast 3.
And Knuckles.
That worked better than rehearsal, and I've just bashed the PC. Yep, it's been quite a while since the last podcast, and yeah, here we are with Kristen from Nintendo Belfast.
Hello.
And Peter from NintendoLiverpool.
Hi.
This podcast was planned to be coming out around the E3 sort of time, but unfortunately, due to a few incidents and accidents and everything in between June and now, yeah, a lot has happened, of which we will cover most of it. Obviously, we can't cover absolutely everything. We will try, but yeah. Anyway, as I've introduced these two, yeah, Kristen, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Kristen. I'm the head of Nintendo Belfast, although I come from Bangor, not Belfast. That's where I'm living. But I suppose it's much closer than you guys. Like, it's like a 8-mile jaunt to Belfast from where I am. Because England's a bit bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for having me, and hopefully I contribute quite well. Or not. It's all good fun, isn't it?
Okay, and Peter?
Hi, I'm Peter. I'm one of the admins for NintendoLiverpool, and it's a pleasure to be here.
What have we been playing for the past month or so? Let's go with Peter. What have you been playing recently on your Switch?
I've been playing Pokemon Unite, actually. Really getting into that. I really enjoyed that so far. I've had to go a few MOBAs before and never really got into it, but this one I'm really enjoying so far.
Oh, it's good. Is it a fair assumption to make it to call it like a League of Legends clone with Pokemon, or is it completely different from that?
I mean, I've heard a few people call that. Yeah, I suppose if you played MOBAs before, I suppose you can draw some similarities between them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Kristen, how have you been playing?
Well, like, I've been playing a bit of Pokemon Unite as well, I have to say. Like, I'm coming from a different background where I haven't really played MOBAs much. Mm-hmm. Like, I've heard about League of Legends and all that. In all fairness, that's how I'm describing it. League of Legends, but with Pokemon. Yep. So, I actually watched a friend stream it and said, that's really good. I did download it, but that actually looks real good fun. Played it and had a blast. So I'm learning me bits and pieces. So the only other like kind of MOBA was Arena of Valor came to Switch.
Yep. Yeah, that's
like a couple of years ago. I tried that and really enjoyed it. And then when they said this was kind of a MOBA and like that, then I was like, it's free. Why not? Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been playing recently. Like, in all fairness, work has been really hectic. So usually the Switch is for break times. Break times has kind of been like for resting. So I haven't been on too much, but I'm trying to remember what I popped in and out of the Switch cartridge. Well, I did play the Bomberman Art Online, the Battle Royale. I did download that and Switch and had real good fun with it. I even paid to get like the custom rooms and had a real good fun playing that. So that's another one. But kind of off what I've been playing quite a bit of Sea of Thieves, which kind of is slightly related because it's made in the UK. Yep. So. But yeah, I've had real good fun because I managed to actually get some guys to play together, and it's been just great fun. Like, it's the pure definition of no two games are the same, because anything can really happen. And if I started explaining, the podcast would be over by the time I finished. So I'll leave it at that.
It sort of does relate to this podcast actually, because the former podcast presenter, Mr. James Bowden, who was the community manager of Nintendo UK, is now community manager of Rare, and is majorly involved with everything Sea of Thieves. So if James is out there listening, hello.
Yeah. So as long as we can only mention Sea of Thieves off like non-Nintendo, fair enough.
Yeah, I've been, excuse me, also been playing Super Bomberman Art Online, of which I am kind of annoyed, but the first full game that I downloaded for my Switch when I first got it back in 2017 was Super Bomberman R. And I thought, hey, okay, I thought that the old game might integrate with the new one, but no. So I've paid for the same game twice, but I do have a lot of fun with it. And one of the groups that I'm closely connected with, NintendoBelfast and Peter, they always used to have Bomberman DS tournaments on the obviously the DS, but with the download plays, everyone can get involved and everyone had a good time with it. I've also been playing Super Mario Golf Super Rush, of which over on our Nintendo Players UK social media feeds, we've got a what we call the NPUK Open, where we set the task of getting the lowest score on the Bonnie's Green. I think that's the name of the course. Basically, the first course out of the beginner's course. And yeah, it's getting very competitive there. In fact, the one of the admins of NintendoBelfast is in the lead at the moment, but that could all change. If anyone has got a score of 13 under par, which is quite ridiculous if you think about it. Yeah. So, check out Nintendo Players UK on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find out details of that there. What else have I been playing? Of course, I've been playing Animal Crossing, even though updates for it have been few and far between now. I was kind of hoping that going into the second year of the annual cycle of Animal Crossing, they might have kept the momentum going of like an update per month, but unfortunately it hasn't been the case this time. And that's pretty much the same 3 games I've been playing on my Switch lately.
Yeah, well, I just like downloaded digitally Animal Crossing, and like had a blast from the first like 6-7 months. I was really into it, but like I thought the community was quite there for it with our group, and there was like a lot of buzz about it. But I think like it slowly petered off.
Yeah,
I think because like the updates weren't as big as the first few months. So like I'd love to go back to it, because I know fine rightly I was in the middle of redoing part of my island, and then I watched someone else who like literally turned his island into a lagoon. So it's like about 2/3 is water, and there's like this island right in the center where you have to use your vaulting pole to vault to a couple of wee ones to get to the middle, and it's actually pretty awesome looking. And then I was thinking, kind of diverting back to Sea of Thieves, just the way their map things laid out. I was thinking, I wonder if I could create like a couple of islands connected with the beach, and then do it kind of that way. But then that would be like a massive undertaking, and at the moment I don't really have the time. So, but it's in the back of my mind if the Animal Crossing ever came back up.
Yeah, hopefully Nintendo has got some plans up their sleeve. I know just after E3, Doug Bowser was answering a few questions that have been posed to him on the Nintendo Treehouse, and he said that Animal Crossing is still in their forefront, but obviously we've got a lot of other things coming within the next few months, and might as well lead on to our main topic of all the announcements like between E3 and now. So, starting off, one game that was announced before E3, and it's not that I didn't think, I don't believe these rumours, but there was so many images of it, I just couldn't couldn't be surprised when it was actually being like revealed, and that's Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. So Ubisoft revealed to us the sequel to Kingdom Battle, and I used to like Rosalina, but now there's a Rabid Rosalina. I've sort of been put off slightly. So Peter, did you play the first game at all?
I didn't, but when I saw that announcement, I kind of went out and bought it and started playing it, and so I thought that looks pretty good actually. So I thought I'd actually go out and buy it, and I've enjoyed it so far. I haven't got very far in it, but I've enjoyed what I've played so far.
Oh, good. Kristen, have you got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I bought the first one pretty much when it came out. Like when they showed it, like, because it was leaked as well, wasn't it?
It was.
Like the first one was leaked like a month before, and like everyone thought this was going to be rubbish. What on earth is it going to be? Then there was the big reveal at Ubisoft that year, and it looked awesome. So then like our group kind of like, because it was like at the start, it was like when the new big game came out for Switch, everyone jumped on it for the first like 6 to 9 months, and then when the games came, everyone petered off. So like a lot of people jumped in that, and myself, I really enjoyed it. Like usually, like there's some genres that like I can play at an easy level, but when they start going past that, it gets harder. Like it gets too hard for me, and I lose the enjoyment factor when it just gets far too difficult. But I think it was the way it did it was just perfect, and the way like this new one is a lot more open-ended. It actually gives me a bit of Valkyria Chronicles vibe, where you can run about for a certain bit and then do your moves if and when you have to. So I just thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like Ubisoft has taken on board a few criticisms here and there. It's not quite Super Mario Galaxy 3, but it will do. I'm happy that it is going to be released. Yeah, I don't know if you actually see... Actually, no. It won't be good for those who are listening to the audio-only broadcast, but I have got the collector's edition just there. No. What's over Mario? Anyway, next up was Bandai Namco having their presentation. And the only Switch release that they are planning was Guardians of the Galaxy. Personally, I thought the trailer went on a bit too long, gave away a bit too much, but also had a Rocky Net 80 soundtrack, so it sort of evened out. So yeah, have you guys got any opinions of the Guardians of the Galaxy? Because I know there's a lot of comic book fans out there, but
I mean, I'm a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the film. Don't know about the game. Maybe I might give it a little bit of a wait and then see what it goes from there.
Yeah, I can understand why some fans will be all not angry, but disappointed that they couldn't get like Chris Pratt and all the usual voices in for the game. And yeah, just seemed a bit off, like watching the trailer for it. But yeah.
It's certainly a weird one, like because when you think of like video game like movie games, like they try and get all the voices and stuff in it, but then I think people have been kind of veering away from that lately because, well, like the movie tie-in games are reserved for mobile now.
Yeah,
because no one dare touch a console version because of their pedigree, shall we say. But I actually really enjoyed what I seen because like I did pick up the Avengers game and thought it was a nice mindless like 3D brawler, and that's how I view it as, and that was alright, but then I got it for half price, so obviously it was going to be a little sweeter than going for the full price one. But this seems to be like more story, more interaction, and I think that's what I think the Guardians of the Galaxy like movies have over the other one. Like they have a core team, where they all bounce off each other. And like, you do see that if you annoy one, well, then you'll get it from the other one later down the line. And I think the way they mirrored both of them in, it could work. So I'm quietly optimistic. So I'll see how others play it and see what it's like if it's a good story, or it's going to be another bad kind of like comic superhero game. Because I think the last kind of really good one we got was like Ultimate Alliance 3 on Switch, because it was really good. And then you had extra DLC, but I didn't get the DLC, but I enjoyed what was there. So
yeah,
who knows?
One thing that really did surprise me was what's the one we just mentioned? Ultimate Alliance 3 was actually published by Nintendo, and yeah, it seems a bit mind blowing that Bandai Namco are like picking up the reins of Guardians of the Galaxy, and seeing how they do it, like how they go with that. Anyway, on to Nintendo's own Direct. First up, Kazuya Mishima was revealed as the 5th DLC character for Super Smash Bros. I say 5th, the 5th of the Battle Pass. And I love
that trailer.
Yeah, I was about to mention the trailer. Just before I come on air, I had to watch it just to refresh my mind, because it has been a few weeks, and the way that Kirby just flicks back up, that's absolute genius right there. But yeah, obviously Kazuya is now out on Super Smash Bros. And I've yet to play Smash since the new DLC's come out, so I don't know if you guys have given it a go yet.
I'm not big on like getting every single Smash character as they come out. I know there's a few guys in our group who does that. This is the first one that no one's really mentioned, so I don't know, is that a good thing or just they haven't said anything yet. But when he was revealed, I was like indifferent to it. Like, I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't like over the top enthralled. But but I did enjoy the trailer and what I seen of him fighting. So like, if I bought it, I think I'd be happy enough playing as him. Yeah, I think it's more like right now he's out of the road. There's one more left. Who's it gonna be? Kind of deal for a lot of people, but I still like enjoy that. It's like a proper gamer character, like from like maybe probably a bit of the older generation, rather than like, I know he's part of Tekken 7 and everything like that, but I think he was kind of based on the Tekken 3 version.
Yeah,
the way with the music and the way it was portrayed.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe like an issue with Namco, because obviously they don't want to like spoil the character too much, but now we have 2 Street Fighter characters. I think that it's only 2. Ryu and Ken.
Yeah.
We got Virtua Fighter in the form of Akira in costume form.
Yeah.
Tekken has now joined the party. Fatal Fury with Terry Bogard.
Yeah.
I am a fighting game fan, but this is just too much. Just like so many characters from so many different series. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah. I suppose you can throw Little Mac in there as well.
Oh yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. With our group, the Smash is a big game, but as you say, nobody's really said anything from when Kazuya was revealed. I've had a quick go of him, and it's not my style. I much prefer one of the newer characters, which was Pyra.
Oh yeah,
I quite enjoyed playing with Pyra. That was quite a good character to play with.
So that was Super Smash Bros. After that came Life is Strange. Basically, there's two games. There's Life is Strange 1, Before the Storm, and Life is Strange 2. That's all coming in a collection later on this year. But Life is Strange True Colors, which is a follow-on from the first game, is coming out to the Switch in September. Have you guys played Life is Strange at all?
Not Life is Strange. I played what was it? Last year it released in I think Xbox Game Pass. It came out day one. Tell Me Why or something,
Yeah,
and it was similar. It was made by the same company.
Don't Nod.
And it was similar, and I really enjoyed it. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. Like, the story gripped me and pulled me through to see exactly what happened. So if it's like that, then I may be interested, but it kind of, that's a thing. Moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm a huge Life is Strange fan, but I have played like the first two, and I have recommended it to a few friends of mine, and you do follow the story really closely, and it really grips you in, and you don't exactly. It's not linear, because obviously you can go one way and then story follows that and go another way. But yeah, it's an interesting title that's coming to the Switch. So yeah, I'll probably will be picking that one up when it comes. Okay, so after that, one game that before E3 saw everywhere, and I thought, okay, this is going to be the year that they're going to make a big announcement. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. It's a remaster of the first two games that came out on the GameCube, as well as a few past games from the Deluxe Edition. And yeah, I have so much fun with Super Monkey Ball. Although I probably will have to dig out my old GameCube controller adapter to play on Switch. I really am looking forward to it coming out. Have you guys played Super Monkey Ball at all?
Not for a very long time, but it looks like it's going to be an absolute blast. From the last time I played Super Monkey Ball, it's one of those games that it frustrates you to the point where you want to beat it.
It does. Yeah. Recently, I come across an arcade. I won't say where it is because I've been a few places, and they actually had the Monkey Ball arcade game. And it's actually set in a Sega Naomi cabinet, and the controller is actually a banana. So you actually wave a banana around as the analog stick, and yeah, it's just as fun there as it probably will be for the Switch version. Although we have had Banana Blitz HD, which was an alright game. It tied us over until now, so that's that one ticked off the list. Mario Party Superstars has came up next. You got any thoughts for those at all?
It's like, for me, Mario Party hasn't been like a top tier game for me. Like, I know some people love it. Like my brother's one of them. Like, he bought most of them. I'm going through, except for the last couple, but like I have fond memories of playing the N64 ones, and probably everyone having the injury, playing it too hard, and then even worse is that when you got the injury, if the game wasn't over, you still played on regardless. So you just made it worse. But that's when they start saying the N64 and saying it, and then it just reminded me of playing the earlier versions. Like, I know a few of our guys bought it and enjoyed playing it at the meetups, and now with online play proper, like that would definitely sway me to possibly pick it up if there was enough fuss. But I think it's one of those ones where, like, especially like coming up to Christmas now, like there is so many games coming out, so many big ones. Like, you kind of have to say which ones are going to be wait for a sale, pick up later on, see how it turns out, kind of deal. and like that happened. Like with the other one, that's a thing. I'm happy for people, but maybe not for me right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, I think I can totally agree with that.
Yeah, personally, I do really like the Mario Party series. I've got from 4 till Super Mario Party. So yeah, every console except the handheld ones, i.e. like the DS and Star Rush. There was another Island Tour. That was it. I did get the top 100 DS game, 3DS game, sorry, and yeah, it was a fun compilation. So with this version coming to Switch, being a compilation itself of the previous games, I can see a lot of people having fun. Thankfully, they have made some of it like button controlled, so people with a Switch Lite can play. And as Kristen touched on earlier, online play, which, going by what happened with Super Mario Party, it's not a bad thing. Thankfully, it won't be as restricted.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
About, because you bought Super Mario Party and they just introduced online now and they're bringing out this game this year. Do you feel slightly shortchanged that this wasn't DLC and it's a full-fledged game? Or did you not even think about it like that?
Personally, I didn't think about it because up until now, I've always associated Mario Party with excuse me, Mario Party being a in-person multiplayer game rather than an online game. So I'm not too fussed that the online play is just being added, but yeah, I don't mind like Super Mario Party being like pushed aside. It was just good that they give like the online player a chance. I reckon it was a case of, let's see how well this whole online play works out, because we all know that Nintendo has upgraded their systems for online play recently, and yeah, it's like a little test bed for it, and it does work out really well. And yeah, I'm not gonna not buy Mario Party Superstars because I've got Super Mario Party, but yeah, it does work out well.
That's okay. It was only because, like, I feel the situation is with Mario Kart right now. Like, I think there's because it was a port from the Wii U, that everyone's ready for potentially a new Mario Kart.
Yep.
And say if they had have announced one here for Christmas, I thought that would have went down a lot better than a potential another Mario Party.
Yeah, I totally get that.
And that's kind of where I'm sitting. It's like, we've had 2 Mario parties already. In between Mario, actually technically it would be almost 3 or 4 Mario parties from the last proper Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So maybe because I'm a huge Mario Kart fan, and that's where my top tier of Mario comes from. Like, even on top of the platformers, Mario Kart's above that. So it's like, I still really enjoy it, and if anyone asks me to play it, I will play it.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like unless they are waiting for a certain moment to release it perfectly, which is fine, or the right time, obviously because of the pandemic and Animal Crossing blowing up, like, everything's kind of been pushed back a little, and obviously work and everything, but I shan't go on. But that's why I asked the question, because it's just the way Nintendo are kind of stacking things. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to get into a major debate because we're literally only talking about E3 and stuff like that, but I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, there's still time. I mean, like, the Switch isn't going away anytime soon, although something we are going to be touching on later may hint at it being, like, not so much coming to end its life cycle, but we'll come to that later. But something that is coming later, we just still don't know when we're going to get an announcement, like a full announcement for it. Metroid Prime 4 is confirmed to be still in development, but to tide us over until then, Metroid Dread was announced, and I know a lot of people have been like really excited to see this game that has been hinted for ages. Like it's over a decade now. So yeah, Peter, do you want to say anything?
It looks phenomenal. I'm glad they're taking the time with Metroid Prime 4. It was, what's the quote? A rushed game is a late game is eventually good. A rushed game is forever bad. So I'm glad they're really taking the time with it, because the Metroid Prime series is really good. So they want to do it justice. Metroid Dread looks phenomenal. As soon as E3 was over, that was already pre-ordered. That looks so good. That looks. I'm very interested to see where they're taking the whole, the robots thing. That looks really quite interesting.
Yeah, I was really really surprised to see that, and yeah, it is shaping up to be a really really good looking game. And coming off the back of Samus Returns on the 3DS, I'm glad that they're still keeping the 2D Metroids coming. And yeah, I'm definitely waiting to sink my teeth into this one. So yeah, and I know a lot of people been asking on Nintendo's own Twitter, where can I get the amiibo? Where can I get this? And to say, it has been like what was it? 2015 all over again, when amiibo first come out, and just like everyone asking like, where can I get this? Where can I get that one?
I remember that time fondly. You were buying amiibos just because they became available. Like, you didn't have any sense. You just went and got, and that's why, like, in all fairness, I only buy the ones I really, really think look good. But, like, I have probably 15 to 20 more than I probably should have had. If I have to be honest. I'm not a big amiibo fan. Like, I know I've got a couple of friends who have shown them, like they are getting their 100%. Flexing, saying that they've got them all, or they only need one or two left. But like, I have to go back to them and see, like, have they got like the Monster Hunter Story 2 ones? And like they got the Dread ones, because. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Dread coming out. Like, I think out of all E3, that was the biggest reaction I gave to that game. Like, I was super happy that showed up, because from now on I listen to no rumors at all, even if it is tempting the life out of me that I want this to happen. Because the last time I did that, I got absolutely devastated. So it's never happening. But there was like a couple of other YouTubers and podcasts I was listening to. They always brought like a 2D Metroid is coming, and I says, yeah,
it'll be
my backside it is. And then I said, when Nintendo announces it, then it's coming.
Yes.
And then when they did show it, and it looked so good, like really HD graphics on top of what Samus Returns was. And then that was a lovely surprise, because they literally announced it after the Direct in the Treehouse. And then I think everyone was quickly scrambling to back on to watch it, which was awesome. But I really hope this does well, because looking forward to Prime 4. I can't wait. Like, they can release that in the next 5 years and I wouldn't care. I'd be still happy from now. But obviously getting the game would be a lot better than having to wait for it. But if they want to take their time, because I think everyone's just gonna they'll keep saying, is Prime 4 coming out this year? No, fair enough.
Yeah, it is one of those, I'd say Bayonetta 3, Breath of the Wild 2, and Prime 4 are the three that everyone are waiting on, but everyone seems to sort of know that even though it will probably take quite a long time for them to come out, they know it's going to be good because they are taking the time with it. So
yeah,
that's the really good thing about it. Anyway, on to the next one. And unfortunately, it didn't happen last year, and it's not happening this year. Just Dance 2022 is not getting a Wii release. However, it is coming to the Switch, so there's that. So our friends at Ubisoft will probably be calling on us again to basically show the people like here's Just Dance 2022 and probably a few competitions here and there. I know earlier this year that we did do a few competitions with Ubisoft, and they have sort of tailed off for now, but new ones coming out soon, so there's that.
We did have a lot of fun with the when we did the charity thing for Just Dance. We had quite a bit of fun with that for our event. That was quite a good laugh.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just missed out. It was gonna be the March. We were having our one at the end of March last year. It was gonna be Animal Crossing with Just Dance, and then it obviously what happened, and then it was like, I'm sure you like just sitting there, like you've got tons of games you would have loved to meet up for, and they just kept flying past, and it's like, will it happen? But obviously, Just Dance, obviously top tier game, and everyone's looking forward to it, and everyone's going to get it, and it's going to be the best selling game of the year.
Yep, definitely will be. Oh dear. Next game that popped up, I'm really surprised at this, although it is a Nintendo game, Cruisin Blast, of basically the Cruisin series from back in the days of the Nintendo 64. I have actually played this in the arcade, and it is really, really fun. And fun, but really ridiculous as well. Because you can drive as a zebra, you can drive as an ambulance, a police car, a jumbo jet for some reason. But see, it's a really wacky racing game. But yeah.
It looked fun, yeah. Now you've said that, I want to play it even more now.
Yeah, I was a bit worried that it will be a game that will be overlooked because there's so many like big games coming out that we've already mentioned. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Cruisin Blast.
Yeah, I've never played any of them, but I love my arcade racers. Like, was it Horizon Chase Turbo and what was the Hot Shot Racing was the one that came out? Was it this year or last year?
Yeah, Hot Shot Racing.
Yes. I love like just like the old school kind of feel of flying around the track, not having to worry too much about the braking, and just keep the speed, keep the soundtracks, everything about that. And that's what kind of reminded me, but like they turned it up to like the 20, and it's just mad. But if the price is right, I don't see why not. I wouldn't get it.
I can see this being a budget title, even though it's made by Nintendo. But like I say, if you like those arcade racers, you're going to love this because it's completely off the rails. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier, like amongst driving zebras and jumbo jets, you can actually drive through buildings and basically take shortcuts from there, and it looks really wacky. Yeah.
Of course, why not?
It's just that I keep getting this sort of like a loop in my head of like a zebra just crashing through a like glass front building. But yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, back on track, as it were. WarioWare, get it together. So Switch is finally getting a WarioWare game, and I'm really looking forward to it. Pretty much like Mario Party, I do get all of them whenever they come out, but this one's set to feature obviously a lot of co-op play, hence the name Get It Together. And I saw on the trailer the Joy-Con being like put to good use, i.e. like all the gyroscopics and pretty much like 1-2 Switch, where the HD Rumble was like first introduced, and you sort of get an idea of what to expect from that. So you guys played any WarioWare lately?
I can't say I've played it for quite some time. It's one of those games where I've played it, but I've never really taken to it. So I might have a look at this one, see if it sparks some interest again. But it looks like it'd be a good. It's going to be a good party game, so I can see it being really popular.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the DS ones.
Oh yes,
that's where I really liked them. But I'm gonna play a different card and say I'm slightly disappointed that it's not a Wario Land game that has been shown, because like the first one I think is one of the best platformers Nintendo have brought out. And it's stuck on the Game Boy. And I think because they remastered Link's Awakening, which was on the Game Boy for Modern, if they took the graphical style of the Wii Wario Land game and remade that, like the Game Boy game in that style, I would love that. That would, like, when they talk about remasters and stuff like that, or remakes, that is like just the one that would really suit me. But Wario Land's Wario Land. It's going to be a great game, and it's going to be real good fun. But I'm beginning to slide away and kind of waiting if they're going to make a Wario Land game. So that's where I'm sitting at the moment.
I think you got a really good idea there, Kristen. Like the like modern remakes, like Link's Awakening, that they just jump to the Switch, and maybe even a Mario Land sort of compilation, like the first 3 games of that. So
that would be pretty good.
It would,
but and the compilation could justify a full price game. I wouldn't mind paying it, but that's the problem with Nintendo. They don't go under a certain price. But that's why I think my Wario Land idea would fail. Because when they moved from 3DS to full-time Switch, I thought, this is going to be awesome. You're going to have big budget releases, but then you're going to have smaller ones from the teams that worked on the 3DS, and that never happened.
Yeah.
And I'm puzzled, because you could have like cheap indies, middle-of-the-range 3DS-style games that would never hit console, and then the big-budget console games all on one system. And it just kind of hasn't happened. But they have, like, and then when the Link's Awakening, when they made that and brought it, it's like, maybe that's the reason why it didn't happen, because they still they feel it's a console, a handheld plus a console, and a console, and they're making sure they get console price out of it. So
yeah, it does. I wouldn't say everyone's getting cheated like into buying a handheld and getting a full.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that one bit, because at the end of the day, everyone knows what they're getting. Plus, they added wee bits and pieces on top, so like they did add things into it. I just thought, I suppose Nintendo, and who's going to argue? You can argue all day, and it's not going to make a difference what's going to happen. But hey ho. At least we're getting a 2D Metroid and a 3D Metroid, so we can't moan too much.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do something similar to what they've done with the NES and the SNES on the Switch, with like Game Boy and Game Boy Color and stuff like that. That'd be quite interesting to see if they did something very similar to that. Yeah, perhaps
they do know that there is an audience for it, and. Yeah, a lot of people have downloaded the NES and SNES apps, so I don't see why they wouldn't do it, especially when they can easily port over the 3DS's virtual console games over to here. So
I always thought their last throw of the dice to market Metroid Dread would be, say, about September time. They'll put the Game Boy Advance on with the headline game of Metroid Fusion to get everyone ready for Dread coming.
That would be like the sensible idea.
Yeah, that I thought that would, because they keep banging on Twitter, play Metroid and Super Metroid on the Switch Online service. And it's like, well, if you throw Fusion on, which is literally the prequel of the game you're bringing, or the last numbered one, because it was Metroid 4 and this is Metroid 5.
Yep.
It does make logical sense, but doesn't make Nintendo sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I apologize for saying that. I'll probably right. I'll just see myself out.
Yep.
Swiftly moving on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before we all get into trouble. I'm going to have a bit of trouble pronouncing this because I basically haven't pronounced it in public before. Danganronpa. It's a series that I'm not too familiar with myself. I know there's a lot of fans out there. Basically, it's going to get a 10-year anniversary remastering of its first 3 games. And yeah, I just want to give the series a chance because I've seen a lot of like cosplayers and people talking about it over the years. It sort of got me involved, so I don't know if you two have played it at all. Or...
I know of the series. I know nothing about it. Pretty much.
Yeah,
yeah.
so...
I'm very much the same. I've heard of it. I've seen it, but I've never beyond like seeing like images and that. I've no idea.
Okay, so next up was Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater. I am actually surprised to see that another Wii U game is coming out, considering we haven't had a Wii U port for quite a while now. I think the last one was Wonderful 101. It's been
was it not 3D World at the start of the year?
Oh yes, there's that.
But then they gave a hefty chunk of new content as well.
Yeah, the Bowser's Fury, which is...
But really yes, it's been few and far between because it was like almost every other month.
Yeah.
They were like filling their library with it.
Yeah, it seems like a good sign to bring out. Obviously, it's going to be a Halloween sort of game, so it probably will be released in late October. We don't actually know the exact date, but yeah, we got that coming. After that, we had Advance Wars Reboot Camp, of which I'm really looking forward to playing, as it's a remaster of the Advance Wars that excuse me, came out for the Game Boy Advance. And do you guys played it at all?
Yeah, I played the very first one. It was one of my very first Game Boy Advance games, and I loved it. And I think I've still got it somewhere. I'm so looking forward to that because I love me little tactical games. Yeah,
I've dabbled with Famicom Wars, like here and there, and obviously that was like the not prequel, but the Advance Wars was the remake of it, and it is a lot of fun, and I can't wait for this to come out later on in this year.
Yeah, we've had a kind of a filler. Have you played the War Groove game?
Oh,
that's
yes.
a very similar style.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't.
So
can't remember. I can't remember. Don't know why I didn't think of that when Advance Wars was coming up. But yeah, now that you mention it, it's it's a similar sort of vein. And after that, we had the Legend of Zelda Game & Watch. And this was one thing that I actually dived to press the pre-order button on. Yeah, I've got my old Game Boy Game & Watch hands range. So we got the original Legend of Zelda. We got Adventure of Link, Link's Awakening, which I'm really surprised about because being it just came out for the Switch. But I say just came out. remade for the Switch recently, and Vermin, which is basically the Game & Watch version of Whack-A-Mole, which has Link playing it with the hammers and shovels, as it were. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And as I'm
hoping it comes with the stand that was in the trailer. That I'd like it to come with that stand.
Definitely.
Because I think that would complete the look.
Well, as we saw that we've got our Game Watches to hand, what other series could potentially be Game & Watch remasters, remakes, reproductions? I don't know what to label it as, but yeah, say Metroid probably.
Yeah, I was going to say Metroid, because that anniversary is coming up. Is it next year?
No, it's very, very soon, of which we're going to touch on a bit later.
Just you saying that, and we already touched on it, it would be quite an awesome thing to have your Super Mario Land collection on one of them. Yeah. You could have the first, second, and Mario Land all in the same one, have a funny game with Wario in it.
Yeah.
I think that would work really well.
That really would.
Nintendo, listen.
Yep. Hopefully we'll be checking the post sometime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it was just I'm just trying to think, and then you're talking probably NES and Game Boy games, and then that one just literally, you could have a nice kind of purple and gold effect on it. I know I'm all talking Mario here, but I know it's the Super Mario Land, but he technically he was in 2 games and Mario was in 2 games. So but I suppose you could have a Kirby collection or something.
Yeah,
Kirby would be very good. Yeah,
it's a good show. What else could there be? I know it's not.
Could they not have done a? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Could they not have done a Pokemon one, perhaps? Like the original Pokemon games, especially with the anniversary this year.
Yeah, but the thing is with that, Pokemon came out after Game & Watch, so it sort of doesn't quite
line
up.
I
don't know.
No.
I mean, it has got all the buttons and probably is small enough to play it, but it might be a tiny bit weird having it like a horizontal sort of playing style rather than just a long vertical Game Boy sort. Although saying that, they could probably make a miniature Game Boy like they did with the NES and SNES.
Go full on mini. But what was I thinking? I suppose they couldn't do what Tiger are doing right now and just reproduce some of their best hits from the originals, because one of the Nintendo leaders, Alex, he's a big Zelda fan, and he keeps showing it, saying, this should have been on the thing, or this should have been remade. And I was thinking, why not go back and remake some of them, and have a Nintendo character put in each of them, and remarket it or something like that, because let's be real, if Tiger can get them back, because I'm really the Sonic 3 one. I'm quite interested in. I keep looking at it every now and again and says, is it really justifiable? But I really like Sonic. And
you know what would have been good?
Yeah.
If they brought out a Donkey Kong one, because of its 40th anniversary recently, but that didn't happen. So maybe in 5 years and 10 years time that might happen. So.
I wonder how the Game & Watch thing was actually conceived.
Yeah.
Or was it because it was Mario? It was right, give me ideas, throw them on the table and we'll look at them. And there was hundreds of things, and the ones that actually came to pass were the ones that the Nintendo board decided would have been a good idea. Because I know I picked mine up when it went down to £35 in Argus. And that's the only reason I got it, because I thought £50 was too dear. Like, I'm still waiting for the Mario Kart Live to come down to about 50 quid, and that would be a decent enough price for me to pick that up. But it would have been just a nice fly on the wall to see how these actually come together. Or is it just, like, say, Miyamoto said, this would be an awesome thing, and then the guy in charge of Zelda said the same thing. We'd like to do that too, but I want all these games on it. Because it just seems to be that's the Nintendo way of doing it. Like, one of the head guys says, I would like to do this, and Nintendo says, fire on.
Yeah, hopefully Nintendo are listening themselves. Not to, like, that bit we mentioned earlier, but yeah. But yeah, it would be great if a few ideas that were, well, just thrown around and suddenly we got Game Watches back.
Yeah. Well, we'll contact Luke and we'll put in a nice letter and he can send it across.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep with the Legend of Zelda theme. Sequel to Breath of the Wild was teased. No name for it yet. Still don't know when it will be released, other than it will be next year. I did think it was a bit weird, Link going through like a stone sort of plinth and appearing on the other side of it. And it does seem to be a bit more, I don't know, what's the term? Sort of abstract compared to like the first game. I haven't played Breath of the Wild, the original, for quite a while now, so what I probably will do is play it once more to like refresh my memory. And yeah, hopefully the sequel will be more. Well, the first game obviously was on the Wii U, so it was sort of limited.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully the sequel will be like a full-blown Switch, like giving it all like full power, as it were. Yeah, you guys looking forward to it at all?
Yeah. it looks very good. You know, I saw a lot of, I don't know, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Skyward Sword. A lot of the what looks like aerial mechanics in it. It looks very interesting, and what they've teased of the story looks quite intriguing. It's quite sinister, quite a lot of it. But it's going to be interesting to see where they've taken this quite huge world they've already built, and kind of expand it even further. It's going to be quite a huge undertaking, so it's be quite interesting to see where they go with it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, as you say, Breath of the Wild was huge, and normally sequels are even bigger, and who knows where this is going to go. So, after the E3 Direct, obviously Nintendo has their Treehouse presentation, which went on for about 3 hours or so, which, being at the time it was dinner time over here, and I thought, okay, I'll catch up with it later. And it turned out they had about 20 minutes odd of No More Heroes 3 footage, which I don't know if you guys are into the series at all, but yeah, it was just great to see it's a very quirky sort of game, because Suda51, he's known for being a bit like the, I don't want to be harsh on the guy because I'm a big fan of his, but like a Poundland Hideo Kojima. So but yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one to look forward to, and then I'm pretty sure it's going to be out pretty soon, within the next month or so. So
I think end of August it's coming.
Yeah,
so very soon. That's I have like 3 big games this year. It's No More Heroes, the Sonic Colors remaster, and then Metroid Dread, which coincidentally is 1 month after each other.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a mental 3 months when it comes to it. So, like, I don't know if I'm going to get No More Heroes right at launch because I want to see how it goes. Because if it's like the other two games, then that's fine. I love the other two games, so it's no problem. For me, because I love the quirky style, like the crazy Japanese style of games where they just kind of throw it to the wind. I'm more than happy to play those games because I think it's almost becoming a lost art.
Yeah.
In modern gaming, it all has to be the cinematic, realistic, like open world stuff. Well, I know No More Heroes did the open world thing, but I like just that extra bit of crazy thrown in on top.
Yeah.
So, and the fact is, it's going in like it's doing the whole space thing. It's going to be mad, but
I just had a thought, of which I don't know if Suda51 can actually do it or not, but I wouldn't mind seeing Lollipop Chainsaw on Switch. They give it like motion controls, so you can sort of swing your chainsaw about. But yeah, just throwing it out there. If we could work on Nintendo, we could work on Grasshopper Manufacture. Right, so there were a few announcements here and there after E3. First being Splatoon 2. Its online lounge has been taken off the Nintendo Switch mobile app. So, yeah, it's been a good run. Splatoon 3 is on the way. In fact, right now we're just started Squid League 2021. So, for those who are interested in Splatoon, there's plenty of matches going on involving teams from all around the UK. Another bit of news: Sonic the Hedgehog obviously is getting Ultimate Edition of Colours, which I'm really looking forward to because I really enjoyed it on the Wii. I'm not saying it's my favourite Sonic game, but it's up there.
Yeah,
it's Colours is like the almost best. That's how to describe it. It's the almost best. But because I think Generations probably will top it. That for me at least. Because they got the 3D perfect in that game. Plus you've also got the 2D, like a 2D version and a 3D version of each stage. And I thought it was just a brilliant. It's a shame that one, the console version didn't hit a Nintendo console. Like they had the 3DS game, which wasn't quite the same.
Yeah,
but
it's understandable that there's to scale it down a tiny bit, but yeah, it did well. I know a lot of people did enjoy the 3DS version, but yeah, coming from the Xbox 360 and PS3 version, it is a world of difference.
Yeah,
but thankfully now, with the Switch, we've got the Colours Ultimate coming, and sort of Switch related. Because it's in Minecraft, Sonic's got his own world, as it were. So you got got a few sort of like levels remade in the Minecraft style. So it's pretty much the same as how it was for Mario. Well, although Mario, obviously exclusive to Nintendo consoles, so it's quite weird that I can't play with friends and with my Switch and this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
for obvious reasons. But yeah, it's nice to see that Pac-Man, Sonic, who else could be having his own Minecraft game add-on. But yeah, who knows?
Zelda could easily build your own kind of thing.
You say that, but it just reminds you of an old PS3 game, 3D dot pixel heroes.
Oh yeah, I actually picked that up as well.
Yeah, that looked very Zelda-like. So I don't know why they can't sort of do a deal with Nintendo and say, "Here's the Zelda version." But
yeah.
I wish I had have said that I played the Sonic in Minecraft because I seen it. I was like, yeah, I'm getting that once I get back into Minecraft, but I only got back into it in the last week or two. Because the server that our gaming group is part of, they did a server wipe. So they started again. So I only literally got into it last Tuesday when I was off work. And then obviously 4 hours later, did nothing. But I tried. But then I forgot Sonic was out on it until you sent in the notes for us to talk about. And it was like, man, if I was off work today, I would have bought that and at least tinkered. But nope. But I think I'll get it in the next week or two and see what it's all about.
Good. Okay, so the final piece of news that has come out recently, and there was a lot of rumours of this before E3. It's the OLED version of the Switch, and it was kind of comical. Like on the day that it was announced, like everyone was excited. It's like, yes, it's a new Switch. It's going to be so much better. Then the penny sort of dropped. But it's just literally a new screen, a kickstand that covers the back, and the dock has the Ethernet port. So I'm fine with that. And I do know a few people that are going to be getting the new model. But a lot of people were annoyed. There wasn't didn't have 4K and didn't have super lightning screen refresh rate. So you guys think again one at all?
I'm still on the fence. I'm thinking about maybe upgrade because I've got a day one Switch, but as you say, a lot of people were really annoyed. The fact that it didn't have 4K and didn't have all the whistles and bangs that the PS5 and the Xbox has. But I've seen a lot of people, and somebody made a really good point in one of the videos I watched, where it's not Nintendo's style. It's just like Nintendo doesn't go for the big, powerful consoles. They go for it's fun, it's unique. You're going to be picking up a Switch. If you're going to be picking up a Switch, you're going to be picking up a Switch. But most of the time, I've got big, powerful consoles, but 9 times out of 10, I just want to play something fun and quick. Just pick up my Switch.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It looks cool. It looks very cool, and I believe it's coming out the same day as Metroid Dread.
I think so. Yeah.
If memory serves. So it'll be interesting to see if they do something like a bundle, perhaps, of the new Switch and Dread, because the color scheme perhaps links together. But I'm still kind of I want to, but I'm kind of trying to justify it to myself whether I can justify buying myself a new Switch, or maybe I should wait and see what Nintendo perhaps has in store come next year.
Yeah, it's cool and everything, but it doesn't appeal to me really. It's like if it had been more powerful, yes, it might have been an idea.
Yep.
Because obviously nowadays, with the Xbox and the PlayStation, you can play your old games on it, and they're still bringing out games for the old system, but you can upgrade with wee bits and pieces because. See, Thieves related again. It takes forever to load into that game. It must take almost up to a minute for me to load in when I got the original. And it just takes a minute, and you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs. As people who are on PC or have the Series S is already in, and they're all about doing their bits, and I'm sitting, listening to the talking, and it's something like that. But I suppose Nintendo weren't always the big powerhouse. They used when back in the GameCube they were, because that was I think that was the most powerful out of the three of them. But the problem was it came dead last in terms of sales. So they changed their philosophy, and that completely changed the company and the way that they do things. But I'm happy the way Nintendo are going. Like, if the games, like, when you look at third-party games, that's the big problem. Like, if you want, like, say, Guardians of the Galaxy, like we were talking about, we're getting the cloud version on Switch because it can't run the full thing, and that's where we're getting into problems, because you can't like logistically play any of those games unless they completely rip them apart and almost re-put them back together to get them working. Like, I don't know if you guys have played Doom or the second one, because I think I had a wee go at someone's and it works fine because I didn't really play the other ones, so I have no real thing. But does it run well enough though? I think that's where developers are coming into problems. Like, Nintendo will always make the shiniest, nicest, colourful versions of their games.
Yep.
But the other developers don't want to do that. So I'm looking at EA.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that might be the pushing force behind, like, the Switch Pro, I dare say. That might be the pushing force behind Nintendo, where more developers want to do more with their games, and the hardware that Nintendo have at the moment just isn't powerful enough to run it in the state they want to run it in.
Yeah, that's true. One thing that sort of reminded me when you said earlier about Nintendo not going for like the most powerful console. Back in the day of the Game Boy, the whole reason why it has like a black and white screen, as it were, is because it's a tried and tested method, and it worked well. And with the Switch, 720p on a 7-inch screen is more than enough. So so you don't need like a refresh rate of like 120 frames per second. You don't need 4K. You don't need this, that, and the other. It just needs to be simple and fun, basically.
It works.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole where the market's going, because, like, let's be real. If Nintendo, what's the big game Nintendo would have right now if they had a Switch Pro, or they started off with a better Switch, and then we were heading towards like a PS4 Pro style Switch coming out now, like Call of Duty, and the online infrastructure to run that. That's the thing. Obviously, Nintendo aren't going for that market, and it's proven, like, 80 million Switches have proved Activision wrong, that they need to have their game on it. Yep. So obviously Nintendo are going for a different crowd, or they're, I think, almost tapping into the hardcore fans that want the great games and gameplay, plus the casual market that will pick one up for everyone in the family to play the game that they want to play on it, because there's plenty of those like casual games, indie games that will that don't need super graphical power to be really fun, because obviously Animal Crossing proved that one in a nutshell. So I think it's just that, I suppose it's like you would like a little bit more under the hood to run things a little better. But if you can get Mario Kart going at like the best they can go, the way it looks, like 4 years ago.
Yep.
Like I'm not complaining too much. Like, as long as their visions aren't being hampered by the hardware, that's my concern.
Yeah. Well, say for example, Super Smash Bros. That's 1080p at 60 frames a second, and that's coming from the Switch. So everything is possible. It's just that there's games companies that sort of avoid like making it possible. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys are into wrestling at all, but WWE 2K16, it was like playing in slow motion.
Oh, the one on the Switch?
Yeah.
18. That was a fun night at our meetup. One of the guys bought it when it was on sale and thought he was getting a great deal, and we sat and watched him play, and it was hilarious. I felt so sorry for him because he didn't mention he was getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he did, and then we just watched as it was all slow-mo. And it's all right when you're playing like a really old game and when things get mad on the screen, it goes slow-mo. But you expect that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's the whole game and you're playing it on a modern console, it's like, it's almost like just bring us no mercy and just tinker it and get that gameplay, make modern graphics, you'll sell loads.
Yeah. There we go. So that was our news special for podcast number 3. I was expecting Knuckles. There we go. So yeah.
Turbo and all that.
Yep. And yeah, so thank you, Peter. Thank you, Kristen. The next podcast will be a Metroid special. Unfortunately, I won't be presenting it, but Leon Fletcher, who does NintendoBuzz, will be taking the hot seat for that particular podcast. Hopefully you'll catch that one. And for now, from me and Kristen and Peter, goodbye.